What's going on, Soul Tribe? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and are you ready to set some intentions for this week? We got a light one. There's no aspects that we're going to be talking about this week, but we're about to get into we're about to go swimming. It's about to be Pisces energy all over the place. We got Mercury that's going to be entering into Pisces, which is a curious one. Oh, but we're getting a thumbs up, so it's going to be fine. And then we're getting, the sun is going to be moving into Pisces, and this may be, when we get into here. Hold on, it's coming. Happy birthday if you have your sun in Pisces. And if you want to get a solar return chart reading done for me, get an idea of what's coming up for the year, and you get some additional readings when you buy this one as well. We have these little check-ins that'll happen as well. So you essentially get a reading plus 3 extra ones. So if that's something that you want to look into, down in the description box below, there's a link for that. So definitely check that out. But yeah, it's going to be Pisces. It's time to get intuitive. It's going to be time to get into the feelings, and Saturn's going to make sure of it. I think there's something even in there that we're going to talk about here in a moment. But if you're new here, again, my name is Justin. And one of the things that I do on this channel is talk about the Celestial News Weekly, the chit-chat that's going on up in the sky. And I'm going to be covering the week of February 13th through the 19th. And let's get into this thing. Because on Venus Day, the 14th of February, oh look at that, it's Valentine's Day here in the States. How appropriate. At about 4:07 a.m., and that's going to be Pacific time, Mercury is going to be entering into Pisces. Now, the reason that this is a tricky place for Mercury in particular is, in Pisces, not only does Mercury find itself in its detriment, where it's furthest away from its home sign of Virgo, but it also finds itself in its fall as well. And so you got this sort of double whammy that's happened where Mercury really thrives and shines in Virgo. Mercury is taking a nap in Pisces, can't be bothered. And it's not that Mercury can't do anything in Pisces. Pisces is the mutable water sign. They're ruled traditionally by Jupiter, Big Papa. And Pisces is a very receptive sign, very intuitive sign, very psychic sign. And Pisces can, when you're getting into the water, it's different than the air or the earth. Like I'm thinking of the signs that actually squares Pisces. Gemini, it's one of its home signs, and Virgo. It's when we're getting in the water again, it's all about the feelings, and sometimes those can be hard to communicate as times. I find even too in Pisces, there is a bit more of a nebulous feeling that is happening. You can notice that there's maybe a lot more dream work that's happening during this time. This would be a great time to get some rest, to pay attention to, and something to think about too. I think one of the pitfalls with Mercury being in its fall is that when the mind becomes very porous and very susceptible in that Mercury and Pisces, I'd say give yourself even some downtime before from like your telephone. Like give yourself at least like 30 minutes before you go to bed, just to kind of just unplug for a moment. I even say if you can even give yourself maybe 10-15 when you first wake up, just allow your brain to come to, reflect on any dreams that you might have. This would be a great time for doing tarot. This would be a great one for anything working with pictures. Any sort of symbolism, astrology could be another one, I Ching. So if you're looking for some sort of, when you're looking for practical guidance in a more intuitive space, those sort of tools help give you a foundation. But you could even do this maybe through journaling. Maybe you do this through poetry. Maybe it's coming through. Pay attention to the music that you're listening to as well. Just the things that are coming through. Because again, that Mercury is just more susceptible when it's in Pisces. But this can be a very creative time with Mercury in Pisces. This can be one where you're dipping into the feelings, where you can have a deeper kind of comprehension of the more kind of mystical, the magical, that connection between source is a bit more clear now, because now we're not so analytical, maybe so in one side of the brain when we're talking about with Mercury here. So, and I think that responsibility kind of aspect comes into where, because now Mercury's in the same space that Saturn's in. And Saturn, we know, has been in Pisces for a while and has been wanting us to have a better foundation in this space, to have more, to be more open and more receptive, and to be responsible with the gifts that come with that as well. So just really some interesting things I think to play around with this Mercury in Pisces again. But this I think can be at a high expression, really just very inspired. But I think it's going to, in order to get to that space, you have to allow yourself to relax and just sort of like sometimes the creative in spirit doesn't make it may not make sense in the moment, but it always finds a way to translate. So just some things I think a great time I'd even say for just like prayer, meditation too could be another thing. Maybe even working with some kind of incense, mantras. I think just all types of things like that I think would be very great for this energy. Now I'm going to pull up a chart for this next one here, considering we're just talking about these two, because this next one here is the other one that we're going to be talking about, which on Mars Day, the 18th of February at about 2:07 a.m., the sun is going to be entering into Pisces. And now let me go ahead and switch over to kind of give you more of a visual here. Because see, now we have this party that's going on in Pisces. Venus is going to be coming back here, and Mercury will eventually be retrograding back here later. And we just have the node, the North Node, freshly entering here. So there's a big emphasis on this Pisces portion right now, especially with thinking about the North Node being there as well. And I would pay attention now when we're talking about the Sun in Pisces. The Sun is that divine light, that higher mind, and it's experiencing that higher mind through the emotions, through what you're feeling, through again that dream space. Allow yourself to just doodle. Maybe just stare up at the sky, see if you get any symbols from the clouds, from the birds, from nature. Go by some water, whatever that might be looking like. But I find when the sun is entering in Pisces, another thing too, you just want to see where, if you want to apply this to a more kind of ground this a little bit. This could be a great time to look at just where you have Pisces, whether it's in like in this one, you have, in this chart, this is a Sag rising, so this would apply if you have Sag by whole sign. This could be looking at areas of your family, of your parents, of your home space, some property, your foundation, maybe your ancestors, any sort of things along those lines. That would be probably a good way of working with this kind of Piscean energy, just as an example, since I have that pulled up here. But because there is such a heavy influence of Pisces, I think that if this is one, because even looking at the chart, we have a lot of water. Naturally, we have a little bit of fire here, some air here. And the only earth that we have is that south node. And that's the stuff that we have to call on in the past. So if all this Pisces stuff, maybe you have been noticing that your visions have been wild, your imagination, your dreams have been very vivid. You're just really maybe you just notice yourself feeling a lot, knowing things and not sure why you know them. And not in like a way that's anxiety producing, but more so just like you have those kind of synchronicities. You say something and then bam, that thing happens to appear. I think that South Node is having us needing to call upon any sort of past things that would help keep you grounded. You may find yourself needing to eat a bit more kind of heartier foods during this time, just to maybe feel a little grounded. Or maybe this is again doing some sort of meditation, going outside, even if like, because I'm thinking here is like it's a little true, we got snow now, but even just sometimes a feeling that rush of cold air, feeling in touch with the environment can even be a very grounding presence here. Jupiter's back direct, so there's a lot of energy going on. I noticed like as soon as Big Papa went direct, things just was like, it was like a buzzing hive. And so, again, to not allow yourself to get so overwhelmed in this, just that Saturn in Pisces is talking about that emotional responsibility too. And I think there is something too also, I think that's all I had to kind of talk about there, but just to kind of bring this back to that Mercury for a moment, I think that this can be a really great way of understanding how to speak from a more compassionate place. Not that you don't already know how to do that, but really make it a conscious effort to understand where people are coming from, and if you need to have more of those kind of emotional conversations, there can be something like Pisces can be very moving, something that can help you change how you view even your relationship with a certain emotion here. So again, just apply that as that makes sense. But This is, I think, like, really, if you don't get anything else from this, really just trust this is a time to go within, trust that intuition, and where is that esoteric knowledge that you have, that relationship that it's only between you and spirit, God, whatever that is. Where is that leading you right now? What messages are coming up for you, and where is that trying to guide you? And I find that will help you get far and learn how to trust yourself when things are feeling a bit, I don't want to say out of whack, but maybe feeling a little all over the place, or a little bit jumbled, or disorienting. Maybe might be some words to think about there, but some curious times here. Yeah, curious energy that we're going to be in, but I think is one, enjoy this for sure. Enjoy and try to enjoy this. And again, if you have your sun in Pisces, happy birthday season. Hope you have some great plans that are coming for you. Wishing you all the abundance and things along those lines. So, but yeah, I think that's all I got for you there. And if you want to, I think I have some, now that I'm thinking about it, another thing on this channel, I do different planets I do videos about different planets and different signs and different houses, and what are maybe some things to think about in that placement, how to maybe work with those energies. But I think I have some Pisces ones, so I have a playlist. If you happen to have, I'm not doing them in any particular type of order. I just have these 12-sided dice here. I roll them and see what happens. But if that's something you want to check out, you'll get a little bit more curious about your placement. There's a little archive available for you there. And, another thing, talking about feelings, if you want to, a great way to get in touch with that is working with the moon. And there's a link for my other channel, the Chariot and Friends, where I release videos whenever the moon changes signs. And it's just talking about her in those signs in different phases, and when she's going void, of course. And then I also do a tarot card reading afterwards, after I talk about that. So might be something, again, maybe to help you if you need a little extra guidance during this period of time. That's also available for you as well. But until next time, keep raising that vibration through the roof, and stay mindful out there, stay grounded out there, and I will catch you on the next one, Mercury Day.